Gabriela on the scene today with Talk Network Radio. We have a real treat for you just around the corner, and that is Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd. Jeff is the owner of Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, and he will be coming to you weekly to teach you more about empowered living.
Hello and welcome. This is Jeff Byrd with Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, and this is Empowered Living. I'm very glad that you've joined us today. We've got a very interesting topic, and this is on the progress of attainment of our goals. We're still moving along this thread, and the topic for today is that of faith. And this can be faith in the physical or the spiritual realms, but either way, it's unseen. It's an unseen principle. And this came to my mind. I was walking the other day down by the river, and there was a brown pelican just soaring low over the water, just super gracefully, no effort at all. But it's got these big wings that it had stretched out. And I thought, wow, it's exerting no effort, and it's gliding over this water. It's not falling into the water. It's not drowning. It's just gliding very peacefully, because it believes in the law of aerodynamics. Now, it probably doesn't understand it. It can't see it. It's an unseen principle, but even the animal kingdom understands that it's there. And probably it's seen, its proof is having seen its parents do it. Maybe its brothers and sisters do it. It's born with these wings. It's like, oh, what happens if I spread these out? Oh, okay. When I flap them, there's air current. Oh, there must be air, even though I can't see it. It believes in the unseen principle, and therefore it stretches out its wings and it flies, and it's very beautiful. Now, if a bird didn't believe that the principles of aerodynamics existed, even though it's got wings that could carry it over great distances and to great heights, it would never stretch them out, and it would never soar. And we don't want to be like the bird that doesn't believe that there are principles there that our wings of faith can engage with. So to move forward towards our goal requires faith, either in the physical principles or in the spiritual principles. So Hebrews in the Bible, Hebrews chapter 11 is the book of faith, the hall of fame of faith. And it talks a lot about it. It says that it's confidence, there's a confidence in what's not seen. In other words, we know that there are these principles that are going on. And when we align with these principles, with these unseen principles, and we go, okay, this is my way forward. I'm aligning with this principle that I believe is going to take me in the right path. And then when we see people who have done that and it works, then that's the substance of faith. It's what's hoped for. It's like, oh, wow. And then the book, that chapter 11 in the book of Hebrews, it gives example after example after example after example of people who believed what God had told them to be true, and they aligned with that unseen principle, and then they received the desired outcome because they aligned with it. Now, we see that in our practical everyday life too. There's the law of gravity. You can't see gravity. You don't have to believe in it. But if you jump off the Empire State Building, you won't break the law of gravity. You might rebel against it, but you might break your neck. But the principle is there, the principle of aerodynamics. Say, for example, there was a court case arguing whether or not the law of aerodynamics was real because it couldn't be seen. Well, you might bring in an airline pilot who had flown 1,000 successful flights. And they said to him, give me the proof that the law of aerodynamics exists and that I should align with it. And he says, well, I can't show it to you, but I can tell you that I've had 1,000 successful flights because I believed in it. And I moved forward and moved those levers and pushed those buttons and flew that plane on the basis of those principles. So faith is understanding the unseen principles and aligning with them. And so that requires some work on our behalf to understand the principles in our practical everyday lives. I think of the proverb from Solomon that a soft answer turns away wrath. Now that's a principle. That's an unseen principle. But I've had many, many situations that were getting a little bit heated, And I remembered that and just responded humbly with a soft answer. And sure enough, the wrath diffuses. It just goes away. It's hard to argue with somebody who won't argue back with you, who's just being kind to you, being humble, being respectful, considerate. It's hard. So that principle holds true every single time. Whatever God has promised is going to hold true every single time. Because it's been, and our proof of that is that it's been put to the test over and over and over, just like those other laws. So this is one of the things I think that helps us towards our goals the most is when we go, okay, where do we need to be? What's our vision? What are those stepping stones to put into place that we need to get there? What is the daily practice that helps build those stepping stones so we can take the next step and the next step? And then there comes a time when our faith, our confidence that we're doing the right thing, that we're doing it the right way, we don't see the outcome yet, and the only thing we do is we're trusting in an unseen principle. We're trusting in something that we've seen work before. And we know it's the right thing. We sense on the inside in our spirit and our soul that it's the right thing. We get all the best counsel we can, and it's affirmed that it's the right thing. Maybe you look at the spiritual principles that God has said, okay, this is who I am. I'm going to do these things this way every time. And you align with that. But our faith will be tested as we move forward. Maybe what we're trying to go for, maybe there's a time that it just doesn't seem like it's working. And that faith keeps us moving forward during that time when we can't see it working. We can't see the principles and we can't see our success right then, but it's like, no, I know this is the right way. I know this principle works. I'm hanging on. I'm continuing to move forward. And then when it does come together as we persevere, then we have a story, then we have a testimony. My wife and I have watched some movies lately that show this. It's like people had this dream and it was tested, it was put to the test, and it seemed like everything was against them, but they didn't give up. By faith, they persevered. They believed it was the right thing for them. And even though they were opposed, they kept moving forward. We just started watching the PBS news series of All Creatures Great and Small about James Herriot, the very famous veterinarian of yesteryear. And it's beautiful. And he had all this opposition. His parents didn't believe that he could make a living at it. It looked like he was going to lose his job when he first got there. But you know what? He persevered. He did it. He brought forth what he knew he had on the inside. He believed that perseverance was the key. And as he persevered, he became a very beloved veterinarian for 50 years in that area. And many, many books have been written about him. And now there's been multiple shows written about him. And it's very heartwarming. So that's one that comes to mind. And there are many, many stories like that. So, hey, just because your story hasn't finished yet, don't give up. Just align with those principles that are there, that you've seen proven in the past, and keep aligned with them, even if you don't see it. By faith, keep moving forward, and your day will come if you keep moving and you don't give up. Just remember, nobody who ever achieved anything got there by giving up. So if it's your heart, if it's your passion, if you know that that's what you were meant to do, maybe you know it prayerfully. Maybe other people have told it to you. Maybe just in your heart, you sense that that's what you're here to do. Don't give up. Just stay aligned. Keep moving forward. Your day is coming. Thank you so much for joining. This is Jeff with Jeff Byrd Coaching. You can reach out to me at my email, which is jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. Byrd is with a Y, JEFFBYRDCOACHING.com. Jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. I would love to hear from you. I would love to help you or your team in helping to move forward and to find the right way and to take that next step. So please reach out to me if I can help in any way. Thank you so much. And until next time, God bless you.